Hi, this is Lassi from Saunologia. Today I'm here in central Finland in a place called Jämsä, and more particular Saunakylä or Sauna Village. Sauna Village is the only place in the world which hosts more than 20 historical smoke saunas. And the best thing about these saunas is that you can actually enjoy them almost every Saturday afternoon during the summertime because they've been heated up by a big bunch of volunteers. And what's more, you can actually even come here yourself and experience and learn the craft of smoke sauna heating. And that's what I'm doing also myself here today. So please follow up and let's see how the smoke sauna heating really goes. Okay, so to start the process, we're gonna pick up some dry firewood, preferably alder, from here, put it on the wheelbarrow and wheel it to the sauna. And then we can get fire burning. The next thing to do with the smoke sauna is that we open up the hatch, which lets out the smoke. Because the smoke sauna doesn't have any chimney, it's important that there's some way where the smoke can escape, and it's here. So now we are ready to go and light the fire. Now we're inside the smoke sauna. I'm gonna put on my smoke sauna glasses because the smoke sauna heating can be quite hot business and most of the eyeglasses don't really like very hot temperatures. Okay, now that's done. We're gonna next take off this spark protector. This will be used later on to cover the opening so that there won't be any sparks flying in the wrong direction. Okay, now we're ready to get going. So the final moment I've been waiting for, so the first time lining up smoke sauna. Let's see if I can make this with the one try. And let's see how that goes. Okay, now that the fire is clearly started going, we're gonna put back the metal protector and wait and see what happens in about 15 minutes. Okay, then the next thing to do is that once the first batch of firewood has burned, or it's here still burning, we're gonna put in some more firewood to keep the fire going pretty good and strong in the kind of very first hours of the heating. Then we're gonna gradually reduce the amount of firewood by the end of the process. One thing I've learned today is in order to keep my hands from not burning, I should have worn a long sleeve cotton shirt, or I can put some water on my arms so they don't kind of heat up too much. Okay, now it's time to put up some more firewood. This is a process that we need to repeat probably 6, 7, 8 times before the sauna is ready. So we take away it's pretty warm, so we don't want to hit ourselves with it anymore. Okay, now we're getting to the end of the heating process. It's starting to feel very hot in here. What I'm going to do now is that I'm going to use an infrared imaging and check out the temperature, which seems to be around approximately more than 200 degrees already. That's like more than 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to heat it up slightly more, but now we're going to use smaller firewood by the end of the process in order not to burn down the whole building. And now we're ready to get to the final point. I've been here getting instructions from Jyrki, who's the volunteer manager here today, and he's been giving me an okay, so I'll go and take out the rest of the ashes and coals from the heater, and so then we'll let the sauna settle in for some time, but first taking out all of the kind of excess ashes and stuff like that. First we're going to take off the grate. And then we're going to shovel off the coals. Now we've taken out the coals and ashes, and I've placed back against the shield here. So now this takes care that there's nothing to be done on this section. Next, there are still a few things we can do before we can let the sauna sit still for a while and start bathing. Okay, then the next procedure is that we're going to put in some water on the stove to create a so-called häkkälöily, which is mostly here used in order to get rid of the remaining residues in the stove, so that it will be much more cleaner when it actually starts to use the sauna. We're going to throw in quite a lot of water, and we'll see what happens then. Now, after almost 7 hours, it's finally time to get into the sauna. What I've done in between, having switched my clothes, I also rinsed all the benches with a lot of water because there's soot laying all around. Now the soot is gone, air is clean, and it's finally time to get into the sauna, which is about 110 degrees or so Celsius. And one more thing, I also closed down the hatch at the back of the sauna, so the warm air actually stays in, and it can stay closed now for the duration of sauna. See you in the sauna.